What's up, folks? Welcome back to Tactical Tortoise. My name is Trevi, and if you've been with the channel for a couple of months, you might remember Snot Goblin Gaming. I did a video with them a while ago when they were first constructing their very first terrain set. They made a modular terrain set that you could construct kind of like a construction set, like something like Legos or Mega Bloks. Now that set was absolutely incredibly cool, but Snot Goblin has asked me to talk to you about their new and updated version. They're launching it on Kickstarter today, and let me tell you, it is absolutely wild. Now, I actually have some of the original blocks from the first Snot Goblin Gaming Kickstarter. I hope my microphone is working, by the way. I'm just holding it in my hand right now so I can make room. I have no idea if this sounds good at all. They're fine. They leave a little bit to be desired. They had this kind of confusing hook system that you would use to attach in the midsection pieces that would assemble the walls. And to be honest, they stuck together pretty hard, which made things kind of difficult to assemble and disassemble. Now this is Snot Goblin Gaming's new system that's available on Kickstarter right now. And while I don't want to sound too much like a shill, even though this is a sponsored video, and I do want to be clear about that, I am unironically super impressed with this terrain set. I mentioned that it's similar to other building block style assembly kits before, and that is absolutely the case. These new wall sections have an incredibly easy peg system that will just slot into the corresponding slots in each floor piece. You then have median pieces that will just slot into these T-shaped sort of I-beams here, and that is essentially the entirety of the assembly process. Now, I put together most of an entire ruin. This took me probably about 30 seconds to assemble, which is very nice, but as you can see, the floor pieces simply just slot off like that, and then we have the individual wall pieces that slot into the slots on the base piece. They attach the base pieces together, and that is essentially the entirety of the assembly process. There's just a little bit of a puzzle slot in the bottom of the bases that attaches them together and keeps them secure. It feels like it's basically like a Mega Bloks set. I used to play with an old medieval themed like Mega Bloks kit back in the day that had these very robust floor pieces, and this basically feels like the same level of resilience. Now, the other huge benefit that this new system has from Snot Goblin is a wildly higher level of detail. We can compare this to their original set, which has some detail. It does exist, but is generally fairly bare, and the difference between the two is night and day. We're now talking about a level of detail that is comparable to terrain kits like Terrain Crate and like Games Workshop's own terrain kits. It even has different details depending on whether the wall is the inside or outside of the structure. If you're running a tournament or a large event, or even trying to construct enough stuff for, I don't know, like some sort of huge mega battle, the amount of terrain you'd require for a large game can be assembled in maybe an afternoon. You get an airbrush out and you basically have painted an entire city's worth of terrain in like a day. Slot all that together, and we have basically constructed like a US Open little corner wall here. We even got little 1x1 and little capstone pieces for the tops. We should probably stop myself at some point, otherwise I'm going to construct an entire city by accident. But as you can see, the system is ridiculously flexible and easy to assemble, and looks amazing on the table as well. I'm kind of actually excited to dive in and do some painting in this one as well. The one thing I haven't done is painted the pieces separately to try to reassemble them later, but I don't think it's going to be too bad. I think honestly the biggest benefit would be being able to remove top and bottom floors for ruins in order to store them all nested together and then reassemble them very quickly. Now, the Kickstarter has more available on it than just these terrain pieces. They're also offering ruin templates for a variety of different terrain formats. Whether you play WTC or you play US Open style, there are templates available for each of those, which can then have ruins assembled to those same ruin sizes that each of those different terrain terrain formats uses, meaning that you can actually, from this Kickstarter, assemble a modular array of terrain that you can then take apart and put back together based on whatever tournament or competitive event you are trying to prep for or whatever format you're trying to play. That just accentuates the level of modularity and the flexibility of this terrain kit. I think it's perfect for anyone who is trying to assemble a nice looking set of terrain to play in a local dojo and prepare for a wide variety of tournaments. Whether you play in the US Open circuit and you want to move over to WTC or vice versa, the fact that this Kickstarter has levels for both of those or the two combined is super cool, and it's awesome to see terrain cater to the needs of the competitive community. Like I said before in this video, I am ridiculously impressed with the quality of the samples that I received for this video. These look incredible. They look super easy to put together, much easier to store than classic terrain, and able to cover a wide variety of needs, whether that is playing competitively or playing in a more casual fashion. So thanks to Snot Goblin Gaming for giving me a set of these to take a look at. Please go check them out on Kickstarter. The Kickstarter is live right now. There's going to be a link in the video description and in the pinned comment of the video. Big thanks for watching all the way to the end of the video. Thanks as well to everybody who supports the channel. Remember to keep it classy, folks, and have happy wargaming.